Welcome to the Science of Mindfulness. Have you ever practiced mindfulness exercises or done any mindfulness practices? Some of you probably have, and many more of you think that you have not, but maybe just didn't realize what it was. In fact, if you have ever tried to control your nerves by taking some deep breaths, you have practiced mindfulness. If you've ever gone for a walk or a jog through the forest and really just paid attention and enjoyed the scenery and the surroundings, you have completed a mindful walk. And if you've ever had a really great dessert where every bite was satisfying, you probably engaged in mindful eating. Opportunities for mindfulness are all around us every single day. And in today's fast-paced world, the concept of mindfulness is gaining increasing attention and importance. And college students such as yourselves and young adults who are entering the workforce, it is really important to understand what mindfulness is and how it can benefit us in various aspects of our lives. And through this module, we're going to explore what mindfulness is, and we are going to talk about the significance of it and how we can practice it in our post-secondary years and how we can carry that into our professional lives. So mindfulness can be described as the practice of paying attention intentionally and non-judgmentally in the present moment. And it involves cultivating an awareness of our thoughts, emotions, our physical sensations, and the environment around us. So mindfulness encourages us to acknowledge and accept our experiences without getting caught up in them. So it promotes a sense of clarity and mental well-being. And mindfulness practices have been proven and shown to have numerous psychological and physiological benefits, and we are going to talk about what those are. But before we do, mindfulness is really important for a number of reasons, and three reasons in particular for me is that, first of all, mindfulness helps promote self-awareness. And it moves us from a state of being mindless to being mindful. And when we use technology, we are mindless quite often, most of the time. We are simply responding very passively and unconsciously, if you will, to notifications. We pick up our phone out of habit. We are on autopilot, right? We unlock our phones 150 times per day. And surely not all of those times are mindful, intentional, or even useful. But when we shift to using technology mindfully, then we become empowered. And that is because we are using technology with intention. And so mindfulness creates a space between the notification and when we choose to answer it. So it actually helps to answer the question, are you controlling tech or is tech controlling you? So let's say you receive an email or a text that emotionally triggers you. Somebody says something in that text that sets you off. Instead of responding back quickly and in anger, mindfulness helps to create a space that allows us to self-regulate and take a deep breath and allows us to wait to respond or helps us to respond in a way that will not escalate the situation. The next thing it does is it helps to strengthen our attention muscle. And we know from previous work in the course that our attention span is decreasing due to technology. So mindfulness helps to strengthen that attention muscle, and it helps to bring intention to our attention. So where our attention is. And again, going back to the work of Dr. Gloria Mark, who is a researcher and author of Attention Spans, when she started her work a couple decades ago, our attention span between on and offline activities was 2.5 minutes. And today it's now down to 45 seconds. So technology is having a serious effect on our ability to concentrate and stay focused. Mindfulness can help with that. And lastly, studies show that mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques, MBSR, it's very effective in managing tech-associated stressors. So when we feel information overload, tech stress, when we feel Zoom fatigue, mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques have been found to be able to regulate negative emotions that are associated with tech use. So one of my favorite quotes is by Viktor Frankl, and it just sort of sums up everything I just said. And I quote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." And for us, the stimulus is our phone. It is our notifications. It is those little red dopamine triggers that make us respond unconsciously. But if we are mindful, then it creates a space. And mindfulness gives us the opportunity to choose our own response, one that is thoughtful, one that is intentional, and one that is purposeful. And that is where our freedom is, so that we don't just respond blindly or without purpose. It allows us to recognize when our actions are not in line with our intentions. And as I said earlier, there are many benefits of mindfulness, and studies have shown it has been known to decrease stress. It can lower blood pressure and heart rate. It increases our immune functioning. It increases our self-awareness, attention, focus, and concentration. We have clarity in thinking and perception. We can lower our anxiety and our depressive symptoms through mindfulness. We can lose weight and improve our eating behaviors. There is not a weight loss program on the market right now that does not have a mindfulness component. Because, again, think of the way we eat. We eat on the go. We eat in our car. We eat standing up, right? We snack while we're watching television. That is not being mindful. That's being mindless. And when we pay attention and bring attention to what we are doing, when we ask ourselves, how am I going to feel after I eat this food? Right? Or am I full? When we're distracted, our brain isn't getting those cues. And so we eat very mindlessly. And so that is why mindfulness has become a really important part of diet programs in today's day and age. And then lastly, emotional regulation and improvements in academic performance. And one of the reasons why we would see improvements in academic performance is going back to the idea that we become more self-aware. We're able to focus our attention and concentration. And we are also, when we are mindful and we have, that toolkit, we can regulate our breathing and we can allow our brains to focus. Well, then we're going to do better in stressful situations like exams, or practical assignments and things like that. I always say give it a few years and soon everybody is going to know that mindfulness is as good for the body as exercise and eating right. And just a fun fact, Amy Schneider, she's one of the longest running Jeopardy contestants of last year. I'm not sure if you watched Jeopardy, but you probably heard of her in the news. I was listening to a podcast and she attributes her success on Jeopardy to mindfulness and in particular meditation, which she said gave her the ability to concentrate and focus and be able to block out all of the noise and the pressures of the media. So there's a fun fact for you.